Block Blast seems to be absolutely everywhere. People have played it on their phones, TVs, heck, someone has probably played it with candy. Oh my god, they actually did it. And because I hate myself, I thought of the great idea to make Block Blast in Minecraft. Because why not? Alright, before we even start making the game, we need to get a general idea of what we're actually making. And to know what the game is all about, we need to head over to the Google Play Store and actually download it for ourselves. Now I want to make it very clear that I'm not having fun playing this game, and it's purely for science, and I totally didn't actually enjoy it a lot and played it for hours. Now that we know what we actually have to make, we need to make up a plan. There's three main things we need to make. 1, the grid and pieces, because how else are we supposed to actually play the game? 2, the pieces. Yeah, I already said that. Can you tell I haven't made a video in a while? And finally, we need a way for the player to put one of 3 random blocks in any of the 64 slots in the grid. To start off, we need to make the world. Now, Block Blast is quite a big game, and so we want to make it very subtle that this game is inspired by them. Nice. To go along with our very subtle inspiration, we can also make some custom blocks that look exactly like the real ones using the Blockbench Block Wizard, a tool created by Mojang themselves to make your lives a lot easier. And using the color picker tool, we can copy the blocks down to the exact colors used in the real game and get them into Minecraft. And if we now load into the world and we then head over to the construction section, you can see we've got all of these Block Blast blocks. Dude, that's spot on. Look at this. Wait, so you're telling me that there's already an existing texture pack which includes all the blocks?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that I wasted hours just making the blocks?
Pretty much.
Okay, with there now being a massive chance of me getting sued, we need to build every single block from the game and then put them... As it turns out, I'm an absolute moron. Block Blast has a huge selection of blocks, and so if I tried to add every single one to this world, this video would probably not be out for another month. So after careful consideration of me just placing out random blocks, I decided to go with these 20. So now that we have the pieces, as well as the grid, we can start working on the actual mechanics. Now the actual game mechanics of Block Blast aren't actually that difficult, and it's pretty much just the player placing random blocks into the grid. And then whenever there are 8 blocks in a row, that entire row clears. So what we need to do is to make a collection of command block forks, checking if any 8 blocks in a row aren't air blocks. And if you have no idea what any of that means, I'm completely with you. Okay, so I've just done some testing at a smaller scale to see how to make it so that whenever there's a combination that's correct, it just clears out all the blocks. And yeah, no, I'll say it before you, this definitely looks like a bomb. However, what this massive machine does is it checks if there are 3 target blocks in the same area. So you can have blocks right here, none of which will clear, but once you put one, it's gonna clear specifically those. So yeah, now we just need to check this for blocks and clear that this is not gonna be Good morning, it is the next day and I've just made an atomic bomb. Now even though these do look like a bunch of random blocks, they really are just a bunch of command blocks that all need to be activated in order for this command block to activate, which removes the corresponding blocks. So now that we have the block clearing mechanics, we need to actually make it so the pieces randomly generate. Now in Block Blast, there are 3 pieces that all randomly generate at the same time whenever there are no pieces left for the player to place. But to make the gameplay a little bit more interesting, and to save a little bit of my mental health, we're gonna instead sort the pieces into 3 categories. The first one, the long boys, is gonna consist of the blue and orange pieces, which also happens to be the pieces that are gonna make my life 5 hours from now an absolute nightmare. The second category, the I don't know what to call them category, is gonna consist of the red and green pieces. And finally, we have the block blocks, basically the pieces that are just cubes and rectangles, or a special piece like this one, which actually kind of reminds me of my... So now that we have the blocks, the grid, and 3 different categories of pieces, we need to make it so that these things can be slapped up to here, with each piece being a random piece from its corresponding category. Luckily the process wasn't actually that bad, and I totally didn't spend 1 full hour trying to figure out how to make a randomizer using armor stance. I wanna die. Okay, I had to actually figure out how to make a proper randomizer using commands, but as you can see, we now have all the blocks and the detections of them, which means that if all of the key points are gone, you will see it will generate new ones. So now what we have to do is check that every single block actually generates, which I'm just gonna skip forward in the editing because no one wants to see that. And just like that, we now have a block randomizer that will place out 3 random blocks under the grid whenever there's no more left. Oh, except for this piece. We'll get back to that one later, because holy crap, that piece made my life difficult. Now it's at this point of the video that I want to mention that if you want to choose what games I should make in the future, as well as get access to some exclusive behind the scenes videos, then consider becoming a channel member. It's only like $5 a month, or in today's economy about an average cheeseburger, so if you want to feed me my chicken nuggets, and also get access to some cool extra videos, check out the channel memberships, and let's get back to making Block Blast in Minecraft. Okay. It's time to make the player be able to actually place down the blocks without manually breaking and placing them. And this is where we run into a big issue, because I don't know how to make this shit. My original plan was to use the structure command. The problem with that, however, is that it also pastes in the air blocks, which means, well, the blocks can't actually touch each other. So naturally I went over to my Discord, which you should join by the way, and because you guys are so active in the server, we got no response. Literally not a single one. So we're on our own. Luckily, while trying to think of a solution, I found quite possibly the holy grail of Minecraft command features I didn't know about. Okay, I've been sitting for hours trying to figure out how to paste the blocks onto the board without them actually destroying the other blocks. And as it turns out, I've been an idiot again. Because for some reason, I've missed the fact that Minecraft supports a filtered mode, which allows you to only clone certain blocks. And so by cloning the piece that the player selects to the back of the game, we can then have a command block teleport the player up to the selection area, where they can then choose any of the 64 locations on the grid, and then paste in the clone structure onto that selected location. Again, if you want to see more behind the scenes stuff and find out exactly how to break my games, you can become a channel member. And so after implementing all these mechanics to the actual Block Blast world, and playing it for a little bit longer than I should have, we finally have a way to play Block Blast without any ads. Which in my opinion, is definitely a success. Okay, wow, this actually went surprisingly quick once I actually got all the mechanics to work. But after around 12 hours in total, we now have a working Block Blast made in Minecraft. And that's pretty cool. If you guys want to play this game for yourself, it is going to be available for free both on my Discord and eventually on mcpedl.com. So if you're interested in playing Block Blast without ads in Minecraft, then join the Discord or head on over to the link in the description to download it. Again, it is completely free and I would love to see how you guys do in this game. Also, if this video gets around, let's say 500 likes. Yeah, that's right. I'm challenging you guys. You guys smashed the like goal last time. So if this video gets 500 likes, I'll get back to this and make it like really good and nice. We're talking better than the actual Block Blast.